Go ahead.
Yeah, and in this world, how are teams collaborating? Because we were in a world of static instant messenger and email world and all that. So how do you see things moving, and what are some of the pieces you're putting in place for that vision to unfold? When you talk about collaboration and teams working together and things like that.
Yeah. So collaboration is an interesting space. There's no shortage of players. There's and everyone has their favorite platform, and so it's a challenge to manage um, a variety of personalities and use cases, and still try to be somewhat responsible to the corporation that you can't buy every tool under the sun. And even when you have multiple flavors, then it's very interesting to me because I've owned this space for a while now, and it seems like it's hard to get perfect because on one hand, the company, and rightfully so, doesn't want to pay for, frankly, like 10 different flavors of cloud. Like you can't have everything. Uh, and you have people that want different flavors. But then if you have choice, so we've kind of evolved from at one point we allowed kind of choice between some options to then go into kind of a hardline standard. And when there was options, some people like that there's options, but then there's question, well, why isn't everyone on it? Well, because there's some options. And then, okay, we're going to have this one standard. And then that standard, a number of people didn't like. And, frankly, we've had some issues, stability issues, which then puts a heavy burden on my team, and it makes it hard to scale when you're like answering why did calls drop and why is that on a daily basis. Where we're at now, and I'm kind of answering generally, and then I'll talk about where we're at. I think it's going to continue to be a balancing act. I think, fortunately for us, we went to Zoom about 3 years ago. Many people in the pandemic response jumped on the Zoom bandwagon because it's such a phenomenal, reliable platform. We were already on Zoom. We've also made a commitment to the Microsoft stack in general. We have a heavy and big investment in the Office tools. With your contracts come certain platforms. We tried to make Skype some time ago and Teams work for all our voice video. Voice video didn't work out as well, which kind of forced us into getting, going down the Zoom path. Employees are very happy with Zoom in terms of our video conferencing. It works great. So I don't see that changing.
It's all about the backgrounds. That's what I've noticed.
Well, that's one that I think, honestly, kidding aside, I think this. Like the key to Zoom is it works. It's very reliable, and it just works. However, we're still committed to the Microsoft platform. The company has really adopted Teams. It's widely used. Almost every person in Equinix is using Teams. It's our standard instant messaging platform. But again, how there's some nuance, right? And it's not you can't just, I think, dictate one option. You got to be a little flexible, but be smart about it. Again, I mean, I think this is a different domain, but you got to kind of be smart. There's certain product engineering organizations that, we support them using Slack in pockets because they need it in that pocket. It's the tool that best facilitates their workflow, both internally and externally.
I think regardless of whether it's Teams or Slack, and clearly you're going down the Teams route. The cool thing about it is both of them, and I mean, Teams is a platform, so you can actually, the rise of the bots and all these other apps you can put on that. So what are some of the things that you've done in that space, and maybe some of the benefits that you're seeing as a result of having chatbots and bots and things like that on Teams?
Yeah, so bots, I'll talk about just in general, as I mentioned, like the future is automation, period. Whether you're talking about the infrastructure that's supporting applications, that the old world is put on monitoring, respond to alarms. The vision there, and we're still working on this path, is as AI really creeps more and more into the enterprise and becomes more and more real, and it is now. The goal on infrastructure is that it's self-healing, right? You want AI to take over, understand from the past, address infrastructure issues. Coming to what you're talking about in terms of bots, it's the same thing in terms of supporting users, providing added value to people. Today we use a platform called MoveWorks, which integrates with Microsoft Teams, and frankly, we've pushed them a bit on that integration, and I think they've helped us, and we've helped them make their product better. It's also integrated with ServiceNow, And, it provides, it also helped, candidly helped drive our adoption on Teams, because there was some initial skills that we rolled out that kind of got people onto Teams through a carrot rather than a stick.
So if I'm a new hire, I can just be like, hey, I want Zoom, and it creates a ServiceNow ticket and all these integrations. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
But there's a number of skills that it's been trained to do that hide. Even that creating a ServiceNow ticket is kind of hidden. From the user doesn't need to go to ServiceNow. It's all been integrated, and we've forced kind of help them integrate their forms. Whether you're asking for a new machine, you're asking for some kind of software, and we're going to keep enhancing that. And I think this space will continue to be crowded, and we'll continue to roll with whoever brings the most value. It's MoveWorks today. I know ServiceNow is investing heavily in this area as well.
And I'd imagine there's a whole amount of efficiency that you're gaining from this, and you can probably put some of these workers who otherwise would have been doing that into other stuff, so that more value added stuff. So,
but the goal would be, to automate to where you were going and scale as much as possible. Where we're at now is it depends on the week, and it depends on volumes, events happening in the company. But recently I saw the latest data 2 weeks ago, and the bot itself solves over 50% of the inquiries by itself that week.
Wow, that's huge.
And it also has the ability on we had to go through a password reset event. We have 12,000 people with passwords. Without some type of bot and automation facilitation, this is a really heavy lift for our agents to go chase down 12,000 people. But by leveraging our bot, we were able to proactively go touch every single person, tell them what they need to do, have it remind them, walk them through the process automatically. And we just monitored the reports to make sure that it got done. I mean, these types of things provide tremendous value. And to your point about reducing heads or whatever, right now we're not looking for reductions. We look for repurposing and keep moving the skills to more of the tier 3, tier 4, the harder problems, more strategic, more and reducing perhaps some of our external labor costs on those historical tier 1, tier 2 offshore help desk type models. Currently, Equinix is still in a hyper growth mode. Our goal has been for the last 5+ years and remains, we want the company to be able to double, and we continue to stay flat. And the only way, as the company continues to double and double and double, and we stay flat the whole time, is by automating. And that goes from infrastructure to these help desk type requests to network provisioning and management. It goes across all the areas that I own, and it's a focus across all the areas.
Yeah, you're onto something, Greg. So you start with cloud smart, right? And now you're moving to workplace smart. So yes, I love we're staying flat, we're automating, but I can see this going even a step further, which is, all this the AI possible from the data possible from that's gained from looking at all the bots and the team collaboration. You're now going to be able to create a truly smart AI driven workplace and truly empower, productivity and maybe, can I say, happiness out of Equinix employees and partners and customers. It's kind of cool. There's a lot of possibilities that this can go into, and my mind's exploding.
I agree with you, and I think there is a lot of runway left. Kind of probably the different things going through your head is probably similar to what I think about. I think we're early in that evolution, and I think to your point about bringing further happiness and further satisfaction, we're seeing it, right? Everywhere where we've started down
not
this
to
path,
say that people are unhappy, but you can always be happier.
Yeah.
So
totally agree. Like the bot, I'll give you one example. It has a skill that if you lock yourself, if it knows that your account is going to become locked, whether that's because of a number of tries that you're getting near exceeding, or if your end date is coming up, it proactively reaches out to you. So there's cases where the bot is coming to you, telling you there's something, asking if you want it to take action, and then doing it for you. And those kinds of things, we get those notes that are like, wow, that is an amazing service. And I think, kind of to what you were saying, there's a lot more of those that we can continue to build.